Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins thirsty.
Fins up, Miami Dolphins. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday morning, wherever you are. Nice and weather here in South Florida. I know some around the nation is crappy weather, cold weather, whatever you want to say. Here in Florida, we're okay, a little overcast at times, but nice short and t-shirt weather walking around here in South Florida on days off. So it is perfect. Fins up weather. So that is awesome. Hope all you guys are doing well as the Miami Dolphins are getting ready to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. And speaking of weather, a cold weather game. No excuses, Miami Dolphins. You got to go up there and warm up the football climate and have the Dolphins come out on the victorious side. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I expect. This team was made to win. There is no excuse. Hello, Lance. Big fins up to you. Thank you for dropping in. And Card Fins, as always, thank you for dropping in. Lance, I know you are in that area in the cold weather. I heard you say on the Miss Fin show, so I get it. It is cold. But at the end of the day, you guys have played football all over the nation at this point in their lives. So I don't expect any excuses. Just a better team go out and win. And hopefully that's our Miami Dolphins. Hey, back it up, Ben's podcast. Big thumbs up, fins up to you on this Wednesday morning. Funny thing is, I was not going to watch Hard Knocks last night because it's a poor sport. I even watched it last week after the beatdown, but I said, I'm over this stuff. I don't even want to listen to it. I don't even want to see more speeches and yada, yada, yada about how we have to overcome, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm driving around this morning doing my stuff I have to do in the morning to take care of stuff. Joe Rose is on the air. He tells me they do a segment on Drew Brooks. I worked with Drew Brooks back in the day. So I went and watched the segment this morning. I watched the whole show this morning, and mainly for the Drew Brooks part. He's the head of Dolphin security. I worked with him many moons ago in other jobs way back in the day. Really good guy. I knew about his son, so I wanted to see how he covered that. Man, really good guy. So I watched it for him, and overall, it was an okay show. You know, it wasn't as miserable as I thought it was going to be. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a game, and you got to go out there, and try to play this week to get that little victory. Yeah. Yes, he was like he's the guy that's replaced Stu instead the past. I mean, he's been around a while now. He's been the head of security for a few years since like I think he took over in the Adam Gase tenure, and he went through the Flores tenure, and now he's with Mike McDaniel. So, but really good guy. He's a retired police officer, really cool guy, awesome person. So good to see him out there overcoming what's happened to him in his life. Really good, man. And it's funny when I worked with him. This is before he worked for the Miami Dolphins, obviously, and he wasn't. He usually teased me for being a diehard Miami Dolphins fan. He's a really big FSU fan. He went to Florida State. And he goes, "Yeah, you're a Dolphins fan. They're never going to get it done." Now he's a diehard. Of course, they're paying his bills, so that's um, maybe a reason. But now he's become a really big Dolphins fan. So it's funny seeing now. He has a real rooting interest in them. So it's funny. Good morning, Dolphin Don, and good to see you too. So hopefully the Dolphins, they I thought they played okay against the Bills. They had their opportunities. They just couldn't get it. They could not get it done when it mattered the most. I agree, and it's kind of disappointing. They went out there and they battled again. Once again, they got more guys hurt all season long. I said I'm not going to let that be an excuse, but at some point, it does become difficult to win when your guys keep on going down with injuries. To think at the start of the season, edge rushers, we were thinking we probably had the best edge rush, depth. Maybe not necessarily the best edge rusher per se, but we had the best edge rusher depth between Chubb, Phillips, Van Ginkel, and then now here we are going into the playoffs. Not one of those guys' name I just mentioned. We are signing guys off the parking lot that we see walking around the street. Hey, can you play edge rusher? Let's bring them in. I tease a little bit. The guys we brought in do have of experience. They've been well, but they're kind of past their time, and they were out there at this point for a reason, not just because they're great players that are just taking a little vacation. They were on the waiver wire for a reason. But hey, it is what it is, man. You got to go out there, no excuses. Hopefully they're ready. They're on the active roster. Malik Reed is on the practice squad, but the other guys, they're out there on the, it is. They're out there on the regular roster. They're going to play in a game. They haven't played all year for our team, and we're going to have to count on some guys to step up and at least be decent. It's a lot to ask. Malik Reed, I'm sorry. The guy that we signed just last week, Ingram. Ingram actually went out there. I don't know why he was in coverage on one of those plays, but he actually got after the quarterback a couple times. That's, what we have to ask of these guys. And it's a tough ask, but it's part of football. It's just unfortunately part of football. I hooked up Joe. Good morning, man. You were just over there on Miss Finn, so thank you for coming over. Banana, Michael K is in the house. Lance McDonald already gave the big hello to. So, man, guys, signing guys basically off the street, as they say, and that's the terms they use. It's not really off the street. These guys do have football experience, but it's a tough ask. It's really brutal, man, seeing Van Ginkel go down, because I was thinking, well, at least, you still got Ogba, but man, we're going down like flies. It just stinks, man. It's dropping like flies. It's awful. But no excuses. Miami has to go out, establish themselves this year, because this team was built to win this year. And we had every opportunity throughout the year to take the AFC East by the horns and wrestle it down, but we let it slip away. So what is done is done. Now you got to go find a way to win your first playoff game since 2000. Because if we don't, it's pretty sneaky feeling the Lions are going to get a W, and then we're going to be the longest team, because right now only the Lions beat us in the longest streak without a playoff win. So do you really want that dubious mark being the best, that being the worst? No. So we got to go out and find a way to win. And I still have faith that they can go win. Kansas City is a tough team. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They're on their home turf. The weather's going to benefit them. But at the end of the day, we are a talented football team. Are we, the Miami Dolphins? You know who I mean. I say we, and when we lose, so I'm allowed to say we. The Miami Dolphins, they go out there with a good squad, and they can win this game. They lost to them in Germany earlier this year, but the Dolphins kind of beat themselves. Never really got in the flow of that game in Germany for whatever reason, but they were still only down by a touchdown after gift wrapping them a touchdown on the Tyreek Hill fumble. We were still only down by a touchdown. So it is what it is. You got to go out there, overcome that, play to your ability. Hey, Tyreek Hill said, "Oh man, I wish they hadn't moved the game to Germany. I really wanted to go back to Arrowhead." Well, Tyreek, you get your wish. Now we're going into Arrowhead, and I don't know. Sometimes, as they say, be careful what you wish for, because it came true. Hey, Flavor J, I hope we got this. I really do. Shake Money, Big Fins up. Guys, check him out on the Fins Tailgate. TFTG. I always have to think of those letters. They don't flow as quick as when Shake Money says them. The Fins Tailgate. Good stuff over there. Oh, I haven't even seen if he's been on Twitter. So I am on Twitter myself. I was mainly just for the positive, so I didn't even see if he's been on Twitter and all that. So yeah, have to bring me up to speed on what he's talking about. But yeah, he shouldn't be worrying about Twitter. He should be worrying about catching passes when they hit his hands and securing the victory for the Miami Dolphins. So that's a big one. Hey, this is his second chance, man, because he talked up a lot going into that last game against Kansas City, and he actually was one of the plays that cost us the game on his fumble. So hopefully, and I'm not knocking Tyreek. We wouldn't be an 11-win team without Tyreek on the team, in all honesty. But if he is talking crap out in Twitter, cut the crap and go catch balls. That's what I say. That's what I want from my Dolphins team. I don't mind if they're a little cocky when they're winning, but let's go out there and win before we're a little cocky. Let's see. Reek with walking boot, but doing backflips after TD. I know that's one thing I was thinking. Why are you doing a backflip after you've been walking in a boot all week long? Just don't risk another injury there. Hey, Dolphin State of Mind. Good morning to you. And I do hope that the Tua changes the narrative, Dolphin State of Mind, of not winning the big game, because you always see that Tua's gone out there and changed the narrative. When people tell him he can't do something, he rewrites the narrative. Well, he got to rewrite that narrative. And I expect the Dolphins to go out there and battle this week. I expect a very close game, but I expect my Aquan Orange. Maybe that's the homer in me, the Dolphin fan in me, because I'm 54 years old. I've seen this rodeo many times. It's been 20-something years since we won a playoff game. But this year's team, they were playing well all year. Started fading, unfortunately, like teams of the past. Some of that's due to injury. Some of it's just due to players not stepping up when they really need to step up, whatever you want to say. But they're going to go out there, give it their all, and I find a way. I think they can find a way to win. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be a blowout by us? No. Is it going to be a battle tested game? Yes. Like I said, we were very against Buffalo. It's going to be like one of those kind of games where it's just we can't allow a punt return. You can't do stupid stuff like that, man. You just can't. That punt return basically broke the spirit of the Miami Dolphins. Basically, it was the turning point of the game, and it's just we never bounced back from it. And our offense couldn't get anything done in the second half. No, there's no reason our offense. I don't care if I know we didn't have Mozart. I know we didn't have Waddle, but there is still no excuse to not put up at least a touchdown in the second half, guys. Come on. They didn't even get they did nothing. Zach, zero. You could have rolled out a high school football team and had as many points as they did against Buffalo. It's no excuse for that. When you're the top ranked offense all season long and you go into there and you can't get scores, it's just that's to me that was the most gut punch of all the loss. Just that you can't even go out there and because it's like if Josh Allen would have just gone off on us and threw like 7 touchdown passes and ran for what are you going to do? But the man turned the ball over 3 times. And yes, he had his yards and he had some big carries, but we still stopped him on a 4th down play with time to get the ball back for Tua to go do some magic, and it just didn't happen. So there are new narratives that need to be written this week. That I'm tired of that we can't beat the good team. This would be the perfect scenario. Start beating the good teams in the playoffs. That's when this only matters. Once the elimination games start, that's when it really only matters. And this week is the first elimination game. You win, you move on. You lose, you move home. You just go on. You're out, you're golfing, you're fishing, and you're doing all the things you like to do. But your football year is over. So let's go. Yeah. If they can stack the box and stop us cold, we have a problem. With 80% Hill and no Waddle, but that is life. We have a plan for that. Yeah, no, we have to plan for that. Michael K. Buffalo says try whipping from time to time with all the thing. Shake money. We can't talk too much garbage this week, unfortunately, Shake. But I would still take their side in the debate, but I hate losing to Buffalo once again. It stinks, Shake money. It stinks. I don't know. It is what it is, though. It's not like Michael K was out there throwing touchdown passes. I wish he was. He would have probably thrown a couple interceptions extra for us. So, oh man, if they can stack the ball. Oh, I already read. I saw something else. Yes, Michael K. I know when they last won. If you want the exact date, I can give you the exact date from my head. December 30th, 2000. It's all good. Oh, Ender and SoCal, man. I didn't see you guys. Oh, and Steve. I didn't see all you guys sneak in the room, man. Big fins up to all you guys, man. You guys all rock, man. Somehow you guys snuck in while I was trying to look up some stats, getting them ready to talk about moving forward on where Kansas City and the Dolphins stack up against each other. So big fins up to you. Hey, some of our losses came at the hands of resting players that could have played. That is true, Derek. But the Dolphins, of all teams, they're going to be extra careful on that front. Ever since they got ripped a new one when they let Tua play last year after he got hurt, and they brought him back in the game and he finished the game. And then the next week he went and got hurt against Cincinnati. So ever since then, the Dolphins are like super extra cautious on injuries. Whether that's the reason we're super extra cautious or not, I don't know. But it just ever since then, we've been super extra cautious when it comes to player safety because they got a lot of flack for that, which I think is silly though, because every single week, man, these guys are getting banged up and knocked around in the head, and they come right back and they're playing, and like 2 plays later, and no one says anything. Our thing, it was like a horrible ordeal, and we're a dirty team for bringing back Tua, and that was a whole weird narrative. And I know it got blown up because we played Thursday. That very, in hindsight, yeah, we probably should have got him, you know, not played on that Thursday night. But hey, hindsight's 2020, as they say, for a reason, because it happens after the fact. So it's easy to say. Hey, very good, dear. I know you're way out there on the West Coast. The Well, I won't say. I like saying it's the wacky coast, but people could take that the long way. Let's see. Shake money. That's an honest statement. I would hate a team constantly squash at the team. My dreams too. Hey, I would never stop hating Buffalo. Oh, I would never stop hating Buffalo, the Jets, and the Patriots. The Jets are always number one in my most. I never hate an individual player, but the Jets are up there for my hated team. And the Jets stink, but that's for a reason. From my young days, I felt like they did a dirty hit on Dwight Stevenson after a turnover. Stevenson was the play was already behind him. He wasn't even going, and they took him out dirty. And I've never liked the Jets. And then when Pete Carroll did a choke job on the Dolphins side when he was on the Jets coach, I'm petty. What can I say? But the Jets are my least favorite team. And the Jets will always be my least favorite team of all division rivals. But yeah, I hate them all. As much as I love my team in the New England area because I'm a Boston Red Sox fan in baseball, I hate the New England Patriots. So when I go up there and I wear my Red Sox stuff going around when we're up in the Fenway area trying to catch a game every couple of years. And if they start talking New England, I'd be honest, I start wearing my Dolphin stuff too. I love walking around like in a Boston Red Sox hat and a Dolphins t-shirt, and people are looking at me when I'm walking around Boston like, who is this crazy cat? Here it makes more sense because most people know there was no baseball team. When they see my beautiful face, they know I'm old enough to predate the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins. Uh, yes, it was Marty Lyons. They played with each other. Dwight Stevenson never blamed him. He's classier than me. That's why I didn't want to name his name. But since you did, I will verify what the name you said. He just said it's football. Dwight Stevenson's that old, tough, gritty guy. He just says that's football. It happens. Never blamed him. But man, they were both former Alabama football players, and I thought it was just a dirty, nasty hit that was behind the play, and it was just his chance because he used to get his ass beat by Dwight Stevenson all the time, and that was his chance to get a little shot in on him. Hey, Dolphin State of Matt is awesome. They're not doing much for us this offseason. I'm down about them too, but hey, too many last place finishes the past couple of years. But and they said they were going to go full throttle, and lo and behold, their full throttle is like nothing. Hey, Bull Sox and Braves here. Hey, there you go, man. Oh man, but yes. Hey, that's funny, Derek. Yeah, the Colts used to be in our division many years ago, and then the team I hate outside our division is the Dallas Cowboys because of that whole America's teams crap. Don't tell me by a slogan who's America's team. I hate that. And so many fans bought that hook, line, and sinker because I know some people here locally that likes the Dallas Cowboys because they go, "Oh, it's America's team." I go, "Because they said it's America's team." You know, I mean, if I say I'm America's podcaster, are you going to watch me from now on? Hey, how about drop that? You know, let's do it. So it's just, hey, Lance, what? Well, he must be a Yankee fan. Only Yankee fans or someone will say something like that. I don't know where Lance is. No, you're right, Shake Money. Buffalo, hey, I agree, man. I'm 100% with you on that, guys. I am 100% with you, sir, on all your nasty Buffalo takes. But, you know, Michael K does give us views, Shake Money. So we have to be somewhat nice to him, Shake. He may run off and hide if we're too mean to him. You think, Shake? uh, uh, I don't know about that. Um, they're Tua or Michael K. Why I can call him Tua. Sorry. Michael K is saying that Bills are America team. Red, white, and blue. Well, the Patriots, who else has red, white, and blue? There's other teams with red, white, and blue. So I don't know about that. Yep, there was no Florida baseball team until the early 90s. You are correct. And both Florida, the Rays, for whatever reason, they're always good. I mean, without the big payroll, I think that's what the Red Sox are trying to do. Oh, we can be like cheap like them and hire Bloom and yada yada yada. But man, they need to start spending like a big market freaking team is what the Red Sox need to do. But that's for another podcast if I ever start a baseball one. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the Dolphins' recent signings? Do you think they're going to play much this week, or is it just to have bodies basically out there? So I think it's basically just to have bodies out there. But hey, you know, it is what it is. So we signed that. Ed, we got Bruce Irvin and is it James Houston? Yeah, James Houston and Malik. No, Justin Houston, Malik Reed, and the Irvin. And we just signed Ingram like a week before ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever. Now time flies. So all those guys, but Irvin and Houston are on the active roster. So they may have to play for just because we have no one else out there. But to me, at least, it shows the Dolphins are trying. They could just say, oh, well, and then to get good. Good was even going to be an edge rusher guy. I mean, he was mainly special team. He went down for the season with a bad injury. It's just like we are cursed on the edge this year. It's just, if it's like, yeah, I know it's cap. I agree, but at the same time, it's something they had to do. They needed bodies on the roster because I mean, when you lose your whole edge department, what are you going to do? And you need someone out there because these guys are coming off, and if you don't have someone on the practice squad good enough to step up, you need to sign someone to fill that gap. So I understand you are 100% right, Cap, as far as it's just basically kind of signings just to show that they're trying, but at the same time, they needed a sign. So this time, it was just like they really needed to go out there. And then if you look at it, maybe one of these guys can play next year because Chubb's no guarantee for early next season. Jalen Phillips is no guaranteed for early next season. So you may need these guys if you can get them on a bargain to start next year because you need bodies out there. Yeah, I know. If it was 10 years ago, I know. Bruce Irving and Justin are good pickups if it was 10 years ago. I get you. Yep. You have to make moves to make it. Yeah, you do, Derek. Like I said, there's not going to be any great players at this time of year out. Let's face it. If you're a good quality, I mean, they're all, I say good in relative term. They're all better than most of us in this room, but like NFL level players, if they were really stars, they would have been on a roster somewhere already. Let's face it. But at least they got a couple guys that can come in. Obviously, a telltale sign is JPP was not it. The Dolphins didn't even took a flyer. They saw enough of him to say no on JPP. I don't know if it was an attitude fit or they realized he lost a step and no longer has enough to get it done. but that was a big tell. They didn't even sign him back to the practice or nothing, man. Just like, see ya, JPP. So that was a tell. They did not like him when he was here in his very brief stay as a Miami Dolphin. So that's just something weird. Let's see. What we do now, is we had to do. Yes, we did have to do something. That's how I look at those moves. They had to do something. They needed bodies on the roster, and they went and they got them. And hey, at least they did it. They could have just said, "Well, let's just go with whatever." They had to go out there and fill those roster spots because you lose Van Ginkel. I mean that was a really extra fatal blow, man. You're like, when you lose Phillips and Chubb, you're like, well, at least we still got Van Ginkel and Ogba. They can get the job done. Then you basically lose Van Ginkel, and then you're like, who the heck are going to sign? So to me, they're okay signings. Are they earth moving moves that going to change the future of the playoff picture? No. But are they bodies out there that can fill in on specific roles at specific times to set the edge or to try to get to the quarterback? Yes. Are they going to be as efficient as the other guys we had? No. But are they someone that can at least do the job on an NFL level? Probably so. So that's what I'm saying. What's Michael K? Michael K, you've given a lot of bad betting advice though over the times here, so I don't know. So there you go. Oh, pie more gold. Let's see. I found like when what were your opinions signing somebody off brand, whatever their name is. Hey, when three guys go to the IR at one position after one game, we are getting whatever. Yes, that's it. You are 100% right, Hooked Up Joe. 100% right. At this time of season, there's not going to be superstars out there, so you got to fill in. And we're lucky enough there was a couple of them. It's just very interesting to me that JPP never got the call. They must have not. I'm just curious. They must have just not like. I wonder if it's attitude or they just realize, man, this guy doesn't have that burst that you need on the edge or something, or they saw right away he wasn't a good fit. Very, very interesting. No, you're right, man. There was not much to do, not much out there. And I don't know if you guys finally did watch Hard Knocks. Like I said, I did not last night, but I have the Max because it's free with the HO. So I watched it streaming this morning, and mainly for Drew Brooks. Like I said, I watched it, but they did have a piece on Jerome Baker coming back, and I'm like, man, something maybe Hard Knocks is a curse. I go because man, they had at one point this season they had a segment on Phillips. He goes and gets hurt. Van Ginkel, they had a segment on. Took a while for the curse to kick in, but he's gotten hurt. This week, the whole thing was about Jerome Baker coming back. Now he's done for the playoffs. So it's just like, man, I don't want to be featured. If I was a Dolphin player, I would say, don't feature my ass on here. I do not want to be like banged up. It's just weird how that fell this year. I was like, and it sucks too because you see him all week. Oh, I'm pumped to be back. You see his mama in the stands, all happy that her boy's back in there playing. Her baby, that's the term she said. Her baby is back out there playing. She was so happy. He was talking about how he did, and he hasn't. He hasn't missed much time as a Dolphins player. Yeah, so one thing that he's been very consistent at getting out there contributing, and then boom, he's hurt. It's just tough. I don't know. Hey, thank you guys. Yes, nail those fins up, what they call thumbs up on here. Thank you, Miss Fins, and anyone that hasn't found the great Miss Fins, please go find her. Always bringing the A content. But I mean, like I said, those signings are fine with me. They're fine because there's something they show that at least they went and addressed the area of need. Obviously, they're not going to be Jalen Phillips. Obviously, they're not going to be Bradley Chubb. But hey, go out there. They know what to do on the NFL level and at least set the edge. You're not going to probably sack. Hey, I would love coming back on Sunday morning talking about after the game on Saturday night saying, oh my God, one of these guys made a game-changing play. That'd be like storybook stuff, but we never get the storybooks tells in our city, it doesn't seem like, but one of these days. Hard Knocks was great and ever. been a Baker fan. It does suck for him getting hurt, but I don't want him back in Miami. I've seen so much nonsense from him. He probably won't be back because all these capologists, people that talk about cap, is saying that the Dolphins can move on from his salary. No, it doesn't mean if they can't rework him and come back. But man, the guy is out there. I do like him okay. I know he gets a lot of Derek, you are right. There are times he doesn't do some of the stuff, but I still think at least he's out there consistently and he stays until this year getting banged up. But he does make plays at time. But I know he is one of the Dolphins that gets a lot of heat. I'm with you. Emmanuel Ogball. Yeah, Ogba is definitely going to be a cap casualty. Now, can he re-sign him? Because that's the thing. That was like a guaranteed cap casualty because he's going to make them almost more money than anyone on the team going into next year. His big money kicks in, but you can cut him and walk away from most of it without that much dead money. But now we don't have Chubb. We don't have, well, Van Ginkel is a free agent. And, we don't have Chubb and we don't know the status of Phillips if he'll be ready by the start of the season or not. He might be. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Achilles normally takes like a year, and that was the Black Friday game. So we will see on that front. Aaron Rodgers did the whole, I'm going to come back. But of course, he didn't because we all know it takes a while to come back from those Achilles. So we will see. It's going to be an interesting. Yeah, I don't. The man's putting me on HBO. There's that man said, "Don't put me on HBO." Yeah, who said that, man? Hard Knocks. Giving his team a hard time. Sub will be back by mid-September, early October. Hey, Newfoundland, big fins up to you, man. Let's see. Well, they're not exactly contributors, are they? So, hey, no, but hey, they can go out there and they're gonna play, man. But those injuries. Let's see. Who did say that, Cap? Because I remember saying someone don't put me on HBO. Did someone say that? Oh man, I do remember that term. Anyway, guys, now getting into these, the Dolphins' total offense, as we all know, was number one. The Chiefs, they still as bad as people say, and yeah, they're still up in the top 10. They're number 9. This is just for yards, guys. So Dolphins number 1, Chiefs number 9. Passing offense, Dolphins number 1, Chiefs number 6. Rushing offense, the Dolphins are down at number 6. The Chiefs, though, come down pretty low, number 19. The Chiefs are at number 19. Scoring offense, Dolphins end up falling to number 2 due to the last week of the season. The Cowboys eked them out. We averaged 29.2 points per game. The Cowboys averaged 29.9 points per game. So they eked us out due to that last game of the season where we only put up 14 points. Red zone offense, we are number 2. And oh wait, sorry, I didn't say Chiefs scoring offense. I got carried away with my Chiefs are coming at 15 on the scoring offense. They're averaging 21.8 points per game. Red zone offense, we are number 2, only behind the San Francisco 49ers. And the Chiefs come in at 17. So basically, there you have it, guys. And they're very even on third down efficiency. We are number 7. I mean, we are number 7 and they are number 6. I just should have said it reversed. They are number 6 and we are number 7. So that's where we stand on third down offense, guys. So, I mean, their defense, though, is where, it's funny to say because they are a Patrick Mahomes led offense. So it's funny to say they are a defensive team this year, but they are a defensive team. They have the number 2 defense in the whole NFL, only behind the Browns. And that's for, giving up yards. They got the number 4 passing offense. Rushing defense, they are a little more down. They are 17 against the run, 17. So right there in the middle of the pack against the run, 17. Scoring defense, though, that's where it gets scary because we are known not to get the big points against good teams, and they're number two, only allowing 17.3 points per game. They're only allowing 17 point. That's good, only behind the Ravens in scoring defense. If you wonder where the Dolphins come down in scoring defense, we got to scroll down to number 22, and we're giving up 23 on the nose, 23 points per game on the nose, our defense there. So basically, that's where we match up. So that's all. So now I can go back to reading your guys' comments. Oh, guys, what do you guys think about some of the coaching vacancies? Who goes where? If I think if Bill Belichick ends up getting let go by New England or leaving by some method, then I think Vrabel ends up there. But other than that, maybe the Chargers. Does Jim Harbaugh come back to the NFL? That'd be interesting to see now that he's won it all in college. That'd be a very interesting. Or does he just stay there where he has it good in Michigan? He's like an icon up there, and with some trouble pending because of the whole accusations of stuff like that coming down the pike. He is still beloved. They would back him up there. That's Stephen Ross's boy, too. So Stephen Ross would pay him more money just to stay in Michigan. So it will be, and because and you think I joke, I was reading articles. He's like, Stephen Ross has given more money to Michigan than almost anyone else has given to any school anywhere. He gives so much money to Michigan. That's his beloved school. They even got a business school named after him up there at University of Michigan. And it is what it is. He loves the Michigan. He's one of the boosters, so he would have say. So I'm sure he would tell them, hey, give Harbaugh whatever he wants. But if he does come to the NFL, maybe the Chargers would be a good fit for him. I don't know. That should be interesting. Let's see. But when you guys are walking into the plane with bags of fast food, it makes me wonder about the folks running that area. But when the guys are walking, let's see. Oh, he would have Harbaugh would have his pick of jobs. I would have now I'm Vrabel. I always mess his name up, but the Titans coach Vrabel, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. um, he might be. It's probably like 1A and 1B on those two guys. Even though Tennessee hasn't won the past couple of years, so maybe his stock's gone down a little bit. Even though his team whacked our team when we were up by 14 points and could have won the AFC East by winning that game, but that's a whole other crying show that we can cry about in the off season together. But it is what it is. So there's a two good. Hey, Kohler, big fins up to you guys. Tech him and Shake Money are both on the Fins tailgate, and Kohler contributes with Miss Fins quite often as well. I think they got a show together every Wednesday night. Check them out. Wait, is it Wednesday nights? I think it's Wednesday. Kohler, is your show tonight? I think it's Wednesday nights that they have a show together. I don't want to screw up their schedule, but it's all good. Make sure you check them out on Miss Fins. They do their league-wide show at some point during the week. And let's see if I missed any of your other comments while I was looking this up. Yes, this offense has been nowhere near the number one offense the past. You are right, Mr. Newfoundland. You are right. They have not been playing like a number one offense the past few weeks. They need to get back to it. The knock is they're not a number one offense against the good teams. They can rewrite that narrative going against Kansas City. Kansas City is a defensive team, as the stats prove this year. So if you can go into Arrowhead and score against them and come out of Arrowhead with a stadium out of a tough stadium with cold weather, hey, to me, there'd be something to build upon. Even if you don't win the next week, there'd be something to build upon for the future. But like I said, December 30th, 2000, way too long to have won a playoff game. So find a way this week and you still have that dream to hold. If not, then it's going to be what are the Dolphins going to do in the offseason? And I don't think anyone's leaving. McDaniel's going to be here. Because if you look at our history, Adam Gase was here 3 years. Flores was here 3 years. So Mike McDaniel is going to at least get his third year. And then who knows with Ross, then all things are open if we don't win a playoff game by the end of next year. But if you go out and win a playoff game this year, I think it buys him in an extra year already because Ross would just be happy that his team won a playoff game. So that would be a big bonus in his head. But I'm hoping we're not talking about the offseason yet. I hope we extend it after this week and we're talking about one more playoff game. I don't have much more hope after that because we have to go into Baltimore. Let's face it, it's going to be ugly probably again. But just a win against Kansas City, and Kansas City's beatable this year. Are they going to be easy? No, they're still the defending Super Bowl champions. But this is the year to get Kansas City, and we let our year to get Buffalo slip by. Buffalo lost a lot of games they shouldn't have lost, and we let that opportunity slip by, and not take them off. But this is our chance to knock off Kansas City when they're not having one of their better years. Just go out there, get the job done, and we should be okay on that front. Uh, hey, Dad Dean, didn't see you sneak in there. Big fins up to you too. True, caller. So yes, Wednesdays at 8 on the Miss Fins Network. Good stuff there. Kohler's all over the place, man. He's on the Fins Tele and Miss Fins always out there having his views heard. Good job by Kohler all the time. Dad Dean, a lot of narratives can't be answered this weekend. I agree. The narrative that they can't beat a good team on the road, narrative they can't win in the cold, narrative Tua can't step up in the big games, all that can be answered and changed because the narrative is that they can't do that. So they can change that narrative. And I'm a realistic, real talk fan. I know it's going to be a tough task, but at the end of the day, I am a fan, as you can see. And I do think there is a chance that they can beat Kansas City. Do I have much hope after that? No. If we were playing Baltimore already, I would say, oh, we're screwed McDudes. But I do believe Kansas City is beatable this year. We could have had them beat in Germany if the two last plays of the game are like the two last plays of that Kansas City game are two of the worst I've ever seen. Tua misses a wide open Cedric Wilson, I think it was, and then he drops or whatever. You could say with a bad snap, he dropped the snap, whatever you want to blame. That's the last play of the game. What a horrible, awful way to lose the game. Just so that's another game that you can just look back and say, ouch, ouch, ouch. Let's see if McDean doesn't win a playoff game. What did Card Fins say? What are you apologizing for? I want to apologize to Dad Dean for the participation trophy remark. I am sorry, Dean. Well, I don't know. I guess I missed in your well, I don't know. Well, it must have been maybe from another time. I think I missed it. Off topic. Does anyone else think Titans firing Vrabel is 100% about him going to New England? No, I don't think. I think he might go to New England, but if that's what Tennessee thought, no, because then I would wait for Tennessee to fire. I would wait for New England to fire, you know, um, Belichick, didn't make them trade a pick to get Vrabel for Mike. So that's what I would do. So I don't think a team does something to benefit another team or then the league is really screwed up, but we will see. But that's what I think Dolphin done. So no, he is he might go to New England, but I would hope Tennessee doesn't. Oh, he wants to go to New England. That's fire. I would make trade his ass to New England if that's who they really want to. At least get something back for your move. So I don't know about that. Hope Miami win from a hey, buy stocks, big fins up to you. See, Michael K, the Bills fans can root for the Dolphins to win. So thank you. We got another Bills fan busting our chops in here on buy stocks. The two aside guy, he is busting our chops, wanting us to lose. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I think Chargers might want Belichick to SoCal, but they may just wait for the New England to fire him. Who knows? But they may want Jim Harbaugh. I also heard, so we will see on that front. I know you're out there, so you probably hear more about Los Angeles than we do. So I would take your word on it. But I did hear that rumor. These would get Harbaugh. Not busting, but rather see Miami than KC and Buffalo. Well, you guys will finally get Kansas City in Buffalo, so they always had your number and whatever. And then this year you were able to knock them off, so you got them at your place this year if it goes that far. Billy B is only going to go. Hey, yeah, we will see where Bella. We will see. New England hasn't even gotten rid of him unless he's got rid of him this morning when I've been in here talking to you guys. So we're talking about something that hasn't even happened yet. They may very well just keep him at this point. We're a few days into it. I know he's a different animal because he's won 6 Super Bowls. So you treat him differently than you treat others just by calling, saying, "Hey, you're done, guy. Get out, pack your bags." He has won for them, so it's a lot trickier. He just signed an extension, so who knows? We're going to see over the next few days, though, if Belichick stays or he goes. But I know New England was trying to get it to where some team would trade for him, but I don't see. I don't know why would you want to trade for him. Thank you, buy stocks. I think they have another meeting this week. Yeah, they do. I read that Kraft is actually going to meet him in person, owner to coach. So it will be interesting. Some people think it's just going to be like they're going to ask him if he's willing to give up some of his power and let a general manager come in that would have power over the player personnel. But Belichick, probably being the stubborn dog he is, isn't going to want to give that up. So that'll be interesting to see. So we will see on that front. Front. If Ravens win, the B will be the first time brothers won championship games. I know that's what I was saying, man. I said that on Twitter, and SoCal Derek, he was like, "Nah, that's not going to happen." But I did point that out on Twitter, Lance McDonald, that hey, it'd be interesting to see if like Jim Harbaugh wins a college championship and John Harbaugh wins the Super Bowl championship. Would be crazy. Of course, we don't want it to happen because our Dolphins are still in the dance, but it's not very likely our Dolphins advance too far in the dance. But you never know, man. You never know. But yeah, the funny thing is, I always before all this cheating thing came out on Jim Harbaugh, I always liked Jim Harbaugh more than John Harbaugh. But I still like Jim Harbaugh more than John Harbaugh. I mean, with all the cheating out, I wouldn't even be surprised if John Harbaugh does it. Um, so yeah, you're right. They may do all. I don't know. We will see. I think they have another meeting that yes, you are 100% right. That's what we said. If Ravens win, but there, that would be funny though, Mike. I mean, Lance, it would be funny to see that happen. But hey, only game we carry about is the game this week. I'm in the local market, guys. For you guys, are you going to get the Peacock? Are you going to find another way to watch it? Do you already have Peacock? I know, Lance, you told me you already have Peacock. I do not have it, but I don't need it because it's going to be on my local market here in Broward County and Dade County and Monroe County. Palm Beach people aren't as lucky. They don't get it. So, yeah, you guys, and he's a point was on. Yep, I know they are guys. Hey, I know. Well, back in the day, the Jock McDaniels was a guy in the waiting, but I think he's kind of ruined his image as a head coach. So I don't know if New England would take him back in whatever. So I doubt it after his stints as head coach hasn't worked out so nicely. I think he's done, but he was always a guy I always thought it would be Josh McDaniels being the next New England head coach, but that didn't work. Yeah. Yeah, those two brothers will meet in the Super Bowl. Hey, no, those two brothers already met in the Super Bowl once before when Hardball was with the 49ers. And of course, the other Hardball still was with, is or was, whatever, was with the Ravens. And they met, and John Harbaugh, the Ravens coach, beat them. I think that's the Super Bowl that the power went out in the stadium of all things during the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. So, but that was so the brotherly power knocked out the power out there. I may try to find stream just on principle. Having a pay-per-view playoff game is over the line. I sent a support request and canceled my NFL. Hey, NFL Plus. Yeah, it is silly, Joe. And I know you can get it for like $7. But that's what they always say. Well, it's just $7, but then it's just $7 there. Then it's just $7 there. Then it's just $7 there, $10 there, and before you know it, you're paying for every single game of the season. Is what they're going to trap you into, or instead of just a whole YouTube package. And that's they may do it to the local market eventually because they're going to say, well, because right now they've had that rule that the local market being Broward and Dade County and Monroe County, we get it. But who knows? Well, they run their own ship. Who knows if they can change that rule on the fly and say, well, now you got to pay for it, people. Now you got to pay for it because they know that many more people would pay for it. So who knows? Who knows? Yep, it's all about money and maxing out. It's a shame. And the funny thing is, the fans are always the last thought of, but without the fans, there is no big contracts. There is no big fancy stadiums. There's nothing. If it was just a game that no one cared about, there would be none. But we all love it. We all love to watch these guys play from college on up. And, it's just crazy the amount of money these people generate because of our passion. Me buying all this stuff, you buying all this stuff, me buying tickets all the time, you guys buying tickets and talking about the Dolphins all the time. It's just, and all this, we do it, give them so much money. But if none of us did that, none of these guys would have money. So really, there is no pro sports without fans. As great as the athletes are, they're not going to be playing for free. They're not going to go out there and play for free if no one cared about watching football. No one cared about watching baseball, but we do. We all love it. And they take advantage of that. And that's what they do. That's what all business. It's the way of business across the whole globe. It's, over in those soccer loving lands, same thing. They're able to pay those big monies to those big stars because they charge all their people all that money too. And people are willing to pay. So until people stop paying, they're going to keep on saying, hey, they're taking this, they're taking this. They keep on bending over for us. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it until we stop watching, they're going to do it. That's how it goes. Until we stop watching, they're going to do it. That's just why I get mad at my Red Sox. They're not spending money, but they're going to say, well, Red Sox fans still show up. Red Sox fans still watch our, the New England Sports Network. They still buy the baseball package, which I do just for the Red Sox. And so if we continue to do that, when, of course, they're going to go for money grabs. So that's it. That's how I feel. We just pay because we all complain, oh, the money's too much, but yet we all end up paying, and they're going to keep on charging for every penny they can get. Yeah, I know. I do believe it's John Henry. Man. But I can't blame him too much because my team went 86 years before he took over as owner without winning. But I think now that we've won those 4 World Series, he's like, I've done enough. I bought Boston their, mythical World Series that they haven't won forever. I ended the curse. Now I can do whatever, roll out whatever, and it is because for a while he went in there and spent like a drunken seller. And lo and behold, all of a sudden we started competing against the Yankees because we started spending like the Yankees. It helps. You don't always spend and win. And that's why John Henry got burned on it. And he sees these other teams spend and don't win. But it's a lot easier to spend and win than not spend and win. It's only a couple Rays team out there. And then when it gets down to the playoff, the Rays always end up phasing out because they don't have enough star power come playoff time. But there are some low budget teams. The Diamondbacks made it all the way, but those stories are few and far between, man. Spend money. But anyway, back to football. I think the Dolphins are going to win, guys, this week. I really do. I think the Dolphins are going to find a way to beat Kansas City. To me, it wouldn't even be shocking. I just find a way that I know they're battered, and I know that excuses, we all have them, just like noses or whatever body part else that's a common phrase. We all have them. And, it is what it is. But honestly, I said no excuses, but we have been beat to hell this year. I mean, we are just a cursed team. I don't know if it's the whatever. It's not cursed. It's bad training staff. I know there's no curse, but you know what I mean? It's just like we've had a run of bad luck. We had the number 1 ranked center in the NFL boom, gone for the year. We had two of the higher rated edge pass rushers in the NFL. Boom, boom, gone for the year. Jalen Ramsey missed a lot of time. Tyreek Hill hasn't really been himself. Waddle's been out. Yes, it's all sounding like excuses, but man, at some point you have to say, good God, is the injury bug ever going to stop hitting the Miami Dolphins? So it's just been brutal. Red Sox and Dolphin. Maybe I should adopt a new hobby like snowmobile. Yes, well, I can't do snow mobiling here in South Florida, but maybe I should go fishing more often because I do like fishing, but maybe I should just go fishing on Sundays and during baseball season in the evening, whatever. Spend more family time and all that because these teams. But hey, at least you've seen the Red Sox win. Come on, Dolphins. If the Dolphins would give me 4 Super Bowls like the Red Sox have given me 4 World Series, I'd be a happier as a pig in mud. So hey, no, you're right, Derek. Big fins up, Derek, to you as always. You are right. We are just, I don't know. It's almost like our stadium is cursed from the Indian bones, the Native American bones, I should say. And I, of course, I tease because Hard Rock sponsor us, and Hard Rock's big in with the Seminoles down here. So there's no curse, but man, we sure as heck get. And I know there's a lot of teams with injuries. But if I bet you if we go, because I don't know that war win the blood replacement, they said the Dolphins had the worst, the most, the whatever you want to say, the worst luck with injuries as far as wins of blood replacement of the number of players that we lost. We're way up there. So I know that's one of those newfangled jangle stats, but Joel Shad put it out there this week on Twitter. Joe Shad covers the Dolphins. I think is for the Palm Beach Post, the one paper I don't subscribe to online. I got the Herald and I got the Sun Sentinel just to fall only for Dolphin stuff. I don't read any of the other junk. I just read Miami Dolphins strictly. So it is what it is. Oh man, or I'm in a playoff. No kidding. Help me understand winning one playoff game on the road kills whenever we can't beat teams with winning government. It will help though. It wouldn't kill the nerve entirely, um, banana. It would, but it would help at least eliminate that you can't do it because at least you would have shown that you did it in a playoff setting for at least 1 week. But yes, will it kill the narrative moving forward into next season? No, but would it ease the burden in my book this year at least a little bit? Uh, oh, I know, Dolphin Don. I was just like, oh, it's just a little bit of fun. It has nothing to do with that. Believe me, Red Sox fans thought there was the curse of the Bambino for 86 years because we didn't win a World Series. It's just all fun. It's all something to talk about. But we know at the end of the day, it's just your team is either simply good enough or not good enough. But with the Dolphins this year, we have to admit there has been a lot of injuries. Thank you, Utah. Hey, I love getting some Twitter love or X love, whatever you want to call it these days. Utah Fins fan. I told my wife that there are millions of Dolphin fans like me and you, and you're one of those dudes. Yes, it is. There you go. If anything, it's the curse of hiring the wrong people. And for the love of me, I know he gets some heat, but Tua gets more heat than probably Mose and McDaniel. Those two guys get the most heat, and that's how it goes. People always love to pick on the coach and the quarterback, but Chris Greer escapes a lot of heat. If if at the end of this experiment with Mike McDaniel, if at the end of his third year they go, I hope Greer's what's getting his door hit on the way out too, because the only way you're truly going to rebuild if you start fresh from the ground up again, not just keeping a general manager and finding another new coach. Greer's already hired his coach, man. He hired Flores and now he's hired McDaniel. You don't give him a third chance to. But I hope that's not never happens. I hope we start winning and we don't even have this conversation that McDaniel's on the hot seat at the end of next year. So we will see. But like I've said many times, Stephen Ross seems to get his 3-year itch. I think Philbin's the only one that kind of made it a little past 3 years, but I don't even think, I don't know. I would have to look it up. I think he got fired within the 4th year. So it's not like he made it through 4 or 5. I have to go see how long Philbin was here. It was too long, whatever it was, but hey, it is. Fins up, Jason. Hey, I hope so, man. I hope that they do shock the football world. And I think it's very doable. It's the one team in the playoffs that I think it's doable against. And I know I'm saying that is crazy because that's the Kansas City Chiefs defending AFC champion, defending Super Bowl champion, current AFC West champion. So they're a very good football team. The weather's going to suck, but I still think our Dolphins can go and find a way to win this week. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be tough, but I feel like our offense needs to step up because really our defense kicked Buffalo around. Yes, Buffalo had a lot of yards, but when you cause 2 interceptions in the end zone, and Eli Apple, what do you do? Tripping on your own feet, running out of the end zone. But other than that, you made an interception, so I'm not going to pick on you. But man, he could have taken that probably a lot longer if he doesn't trip, or if he just stays, at least it goes out to the 20-yard line. But instead, he trips over his own feet. But that's for another day. At least he got the interception. So, Apple, I'm not going to pick on you on that too much. But, that's why he throws 2 interceptions. We get a strip sack of him, and we don't take advantage of it. We score 14 stinking points, 14 points. And that's an issue. That's my issue. That's where I'm with Derek SoCal here. I try to back Tua. I think Tua's the guy. My son's school's calling. That's just a general. Sorry, guys. I forget to turn my phone off sometimes. It happens. But hopefully, we just put it all together this week. We come out there and we are ready to win. It's just what we need. Yeah, we are. Unfortunately, we are. And we know our offensive line has created running holes this year better than they have in the past. So maybe we have hope changing that narrative on that perception. I agree. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Um, Jason, earlier in the show, that we picked up the Bruce Irvin and the Justin Houston. But, who knows what they have in the tank left at this point, and that they haven't been playing the past few weeks. So, because I think Houston's only appeared in like 7. I know Irvin's a little more recent, but Houston's only played like in 7 games this year. But hey, at this point in the season, you're right, Jason. It's a good pickup. So, I don't know. We shall see. But yes, they have been a soft finesse team so far. Let me see. At Kansas City, win. At Ravens, win. AFC champion came and win. And Super Bowl win. Oh, there we go. Win. There you go. That's the only way that would all happen, Dad Dean. But man, I think you could probably win a lot of money if you would go place a bet on all that happening. But hey, that would be a storybook ending for sure, Dad Dean. I know you're probably got a little jest in there, but hey, you know what? You're still in the dance, and until you get kicked out of the dance, you still can dance. And right now, the Dolphins are still dancing. There's other teams that are already firing coaches and saying their goodbyes, their year-end interviews, end-of-year interviews, and doing all that crap. We're still playing. So, hey, until they knock us out of the dance, we're going to dance. So, hopefully, with that, we go out there and we play with all out effort this week. I think they will. I think they would be okay. And I think that it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a competitive game that the Dolphins can come out on top. I will talk more about it on Friday and Saturday, of course, because that's getting closer and I would make my predictions. But right now, I'm leaning that the Dolphins can win. I'm not saying they will win, but I think they have a very good chance to beat this Kansas City team. So, but man, Dad Dean, that would be the greatest sport, at least for Dolphin fans. That'd be like my Red Sox in 2004 being down 3 games to none in the American League Championship Series against the hated New York Yankees, and then coming back winning all 4 in a row. That is a storybook ending, and I watch that 30-30 all the time about those nights in October. To me, is awesome. Hey, thank you, Miss Finns. You always put on a great show as well. No hope for the hopeful. Hey, I think where there's a will, there's a way, though. But there is a will, there's a way. And this Dolphins team can go out there and they can beat Kansas City. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. We know that. We know it's going to uphill. Would I even bet money on it? No. I'm not going to throw money at it. But do I think there's a chance? Of course. So, you're telling me there's a chance, that old saying for a reason. So you're telling me there's a chance. So yes, you know, at the end, maybe saying you're killing me small, but at the end of the day, we're still in the dance. 2 years in a row, we've made the playoffs. McDaniel's not going anywhere. Tua's probably not going anywhere, so we can stop with all that garbage talk on for now. For now, Tua's our guy. McDaniel's definitely our guy. Let's go out there, support them, and root for them as hard as we can. I'll be doing it from my warm weather location in South Florida, but some of those fans are going all the way out there. More power to you. Going to a freezing temperature game on the road in a hostile stadium. Fins up to you, man. You guys are tough. I would do it probably, but it's not about. It's more about the just budget than going anything else. But hey, if didn't have the kids and the wife and all that, who knows? Maybe I'd be like some of those guys going to all the games on the road and living it up large. But hey, I live it up large. Got to go to. So I've been blessed going to so many home games this year. Been blessed to talk to you guys. That's the worst thing about the off season. It's hard. I don't know what Miss Finns does during the off season if she still goes 5 days a week. I don't know what we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to copy her content or something because last off season is when I struggled coming up with content doing it 3 days a week in the off season, much less 5 days a week. She's awesome if she can pull that off. Wow, they're hey, that's not bad, man. I guess people don't want to go sit in that cold, maybe, but getting there would be maybe if I start leave. How long does it take to? Except for a South Florida boy driving in that, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be driving. I drove in snow once and twice in my life. One time when I was up in Montreal with my wife because that's where she's from, and then another time in North Carolina. But yeah, I always told her because we always travel to Montreal in the summer. And I told her one year, I want to go in the winter. She goes, you really want to go in the winter? Yeah, I want to go in the winter. I want to go in the winter. So, like a little kid, I finally got my way. And then we got there. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder why she didn't want to go in the winter. That was bar jarring cold in Montreal. The minute I got out of the car, the minute we got out of the airport and the doors open and you just feel that, I'm like, almost want to do a U-turn and say, okay, I saw Montreal in the winter. It's time to go back to South Florida. But it was fun. We did snowboarding. We did all kinds of stuff. It was fun. The kids loved it. They looked like little Simpson dolls. They were all poofed up and clothes. The Canadians probably say, oh, these guys must be from Florida. Even my wife now does. She's been in South Florida so long she gets cold. She gets colder than I do when we're here in South Florida. If it drops below 70, my wife is breaking out her hoodies and stuff. And I'm saying it's nice. So it's funny. But you think the Canadian I'd be the one breaking out the hoodies and she'd be saying, why are you breaking out your hoodie? But it's actually reversed. So you never know. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on enough. Did too much in-depth stuff other than the defensive stats and offensive stats I went over. We got more time for that over the next couple days. We will be doing a pregame show Saturday. I got to get with Steve Malloy and Courtney to try to arrange a time frame for these shows. It should be fun. You guys are always welcome to join. Montreal is nice. I've been a lot. It's really only place I've never been. I made the mistake of saying, "Oh, I've never been to the real part of Canada," and she's like, "Oh my God." I got her whole family, but they love me, so it's all in fun. But I said, I've never been to the real part of Canada, only the French Canadian. And they're like, this is real Canada. Ah! I didn't know it's a big issue. So I said, you know what I mean? I've only been in Quebec. I've never been in any other province in Canada. So I've only been in Quebec. I've been all the way up to Quebec City, and I've been to Mount Tremblant, and I've been to a whole bunch of Montreal stuff. I've been to a hockey game there, and it's all fun and stuff. So it is cold though in the winter. I learned, and now I know why summers in Montreal are better than Februarys in Montreal. So anyway, I am out, and this has been fun. You guys rock. Steve, that's my buddy Steve Malloy. Steve Steve YouTube. I have him in there. Steve, I'm gonna have to call you back. Let's see. He's gonna go to decline. Guys, you guys are the best. Fins up. Yeah, Quebec City is kind of like Europe. It has that European feel for sure. One of these days, though, I will get more out of there. But like I say, my wife's family is still up there. So that's our destination. It's always Montreal area. But it's always a fun time. Always a fun time up there. So, guys, I love talking to you guys, but I got to go. It is time. You guys are the best. Dolphins, hopefully one day we can really say the Dolphins are the best, but I can say this, Dolphin fans are the best. Sorry, By Stocks and Michael K. You guys rock too, but I've always support my Dolphin fans as being the best because we stick through them through all these years of no playoff wins, no Super Bowl wins for 50 years. Well, Buffalo fans, you've never had a Super Bowl fan, so I guess I got to give you some credit for sticking with them, but you've won division and win playoff games more often than what we do. So it's a little easier on your end to root for your team. Dolphin fans, we got this. We're going to have it eventually, man. I still believe we got our coach. I know a lot of people he's worn thin on. They don't like his little yada 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 speeches and this. To me, I like the man. I think he's a good coach. I think he will be our coach of the future and long-term future, I should say. Obviously, our current coach, but we're going to finally have a long tenured coach. That's what I'm banking on. And that means the Dolphins have to start winning before he gets that 3-year itch again by Mr. Ross. So, guys, if you haven't done so already, do me a big, big favor. Hit that thumbs up, fins up, I like to call it, button for me. And if you're brand new to the channel or if you're watching on Facebook, hit those like buttons because it helps over on the Facebook side too. And whatever on Twitter, I don't know what you can do, Utah. I don't know what you can hit there to help, but hit a thumbs up, do whatever. Thank you guys. You guys rock. Dolphin fans rock. And we got this week. We got it, guys. I just have a feeling we got this one.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or